in a state of evacuation.
This is literally catastrophic.
As Florida gets prepared for Hurricane Milton, Floridians bracing.
We have the resources we need for both Helene and Milton.
As concerns arise regarding federal funding and a memorial at FIU.
I feel like all the Jewish people are connected to each other.
To honor the lives taken on the October 7th attack. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Emma Alonso.
And I'm Julian Davis. Today's Tuesday, October 8th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Calls to evacuate parts of Florida's Gulf Coast ahead of Hurricane Milton. After reaching 180 miles per hour on Monday, Hurricane Milton has weakened from a Category 5 hurricane to Category 4.
As CNN's Ivan Rodriguez reports, the storm is expected to make landfall near Tampa as a major Category 3 hurricane late tomorrow.
This is literally catastrophic, and I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Dire warning from the mayor of Tampa as authorities beg people to evacuate ahead of Hurricane Milton.
This hurricane's pushing me out.
Many heeding the message. Florida highways have been crammed with what some state officials expect could be the largest evacuation since 2017's Hurricane Irma. For some, like Sheila Loquisano, this hurricane arrives as they're still trying to clean up from Hurricane Helene less than 2 weeks ago.
Helene was, it was a nightmare. I stayed. The whole island, all the islands around us have struggled.
This time, Sheila's not taking any chances.
It's not going to be easy to leave, but I am leaving.
The storm is projected to weaken and make landfall as a Category 3 near the Tampa area on Wednesday, packing 120-mile-per-hour winds. Its dangerous eye and eye wall could come ashore anywhere from Cedar Key in the north to Naples in the south.
Been to the point where I'm literally looking at every item in our home and deciding, do I take it or do I leave it? And the thought of it just floating in the water somewhere, it's really hard to bear.
There are multiple open shelters across the area, and in some cases, transportation is also being provided. Tampa's International Airport will suspend operations later this morning. And for those people choosing to stay in those evacuation zones, as we heard there, we're also hearing from Florida's Attorney General issuing a stark statement saying you probably need to write your name and permanent marker on your arm so that people know who you are when they get to you afterwards. In Tampa, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Floridians brace for another major storm just as they recover from Helene. This as rumors run rampant that FEMA is running out of resources.
Yes, DC Bureau reporter Samantha Gutierrez is clearing up facts from fiction live from Washington, D.C.
Good morning. FEMA officials say residents shouldn't worry about not receiving aid. This comes after false claims were made that politicized disaster relief.
We have the resources we need for both Helene and Milton.
FEMA officials are reassuring residents impacted by Hurricane Helene it can handle disaster recovery. CoreLogic calculates that Hurricane Helene caused between $30.5 billion and $47.5 billion in total wind and flood losses across 16 states.
We bring in resources from across the entire federal government. We work closely with the state of Florida and the local officials, and we have the resources that we need.
This clarification comes after Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas said FEMA will run out of money before the hurricane season ends. Former President Donald Trump took it further.
Kamala spent all her FEMA money, billions of dollars, on housing for illegal migrants.
The White House issued a statement Monday afternoon saying FEMA has sufficient funding. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell also responded to the false claims.
We've had the local officials helping to push back on this dangerous, truly dangerous narrative that is creating this fear of trying to reach out and help us or to register for help. You know, people need resources and we need them to get into the system.
The Small Business Administration's disaster loan program is low on funds, and President Biden has said that program could run out of money before Congress returns from their campaign recess on November 12th. That SBA program helps small businesses, homeowners, and renters. FEMA urges Florida residents to prepare and stay informed by listening to local officials. As for disinformation, FEMA set up a Hurricane Helene rumor response page on their website that helps separate rumors from facts. Reporting for Caplin News from Washington, D.C., I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
And a helping hand for neighbors who could get flooded out by Milton's storm surge. But as Caplin's Anna Trinidad reports, the support didn't come from city officials.
The city of Cape Coral is not providing sandbags for Hurricane Milton. They haven't in 15 years.
Research shows that sandbags are not very effective against storm surge. Most homes require over 300 sandbags to have them be properly secured. So we would recommend that you look at other resources to do that.
And while the city has recommended using other commercial devices, one longtime Cape Coral resident decided to provide hundreds of Cape residents with sandbags.
I seen a need. I seen people panicking. I seen people in need. I was in Home Depot Saturday, and everybody was in a panic. And then Cape Coral wasn't going to be providing them.
He has brought trucks and trucks full of sand to his community, Cape Coral.
I've been here my whole life since the 80s, and I said, let's help what we can and do what we can, and started trucking in sand from all over.
He rebuilt his home after Hurricane Irma.
Our sliders got 2 inches of water, and we didn't have sandbags last storm. Just the last rain put water into their house, and this might help them. And I'm like, it's a good feeling that there's people, gonna benefit from this.
He spread the word through Facebook. Hundreds of people came and gave their thanks to Ronald. He said he isn't going to stop anytime soon.
Until I can get everybody that I can help. Just stay safe and stay dry. If you guys need anything, we're here.
Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Anna Trinidad.
Panera Bread has reached its first settlement in a series of wrongful death lawsuits related to its now discontinued charged lemonade drink. Other lawsuits concerning the charged lemonade remain ongoing. In 2022, 21-year-old Sarah Katz collapsed just hours after consuming the drink and later passed away at the hospital. Katz, who had been diagnosed with a heart condition as a child and avoided energy drinks, was unaware of the high caffeine content in the beverage.
And the presidential campaign trail goes through South Florida.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Well, today's the one-year anniversary of the worst attack on Jewish people since the Holocaust. It was a terrible day in our modern Jewish history, so we're here commemorating that day, honoring the lives that were lost.
The anniversary of the October 7th attacks is recognized on the FIU campus. Stick around, Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
A somber anniversary recognized by students at FIU. The killings and kidnappings 1 year ago yesterday were the spark that ignited the war in Gaza.
Caplin News reporter Jamie Berezdevin shows us one way South Florida recognized the anniversary.
As tensions rise in the Middle East between Israel and Iran, many Jewish students have felt unsafe on campus. With the anniversary of the October 7th attacks in Israel today, Jewish students at Florida International University gathered for a flag raising organized by Hello at FIU to commemorate the anniversary.
Well, today's the 1 year anniversary of the worst attack on Jewish people since the Holocaust. It was a terrible day in our modern Jewish history, so we're here commemorating that day, honoring the lives that were lost, and paying homage to the hostages that still remain.
Hello at FIU is the largest Jewish organization at Florida International University and has had events at FIU's campus for many years.
I feel like all the Jewish people are connected to each other, and this is a way we can take a moment and remember all those lives that were lost a year ago on October 7th.
As the day continued, students gathered for a memorial vigil to commemorate the anniversary of the attacks and honor those who were lost in them, and they shared their stories of how the attack impacted them. In West Miami-Dade, this is Jamie Berezdevin, Caplin News.
A Palestinian group on campus scheduled a walkout for this afternoon. Because of Hurricane Milton, it has been postponed until next week.
Here in South Florida, former President Donald Trump held an October 7th remembrance ceremony. Trump lit a candle in memory of the victims at his Doral Golf Club. He was joined on stage by Israeli-American physician Miriam Alderson and Rabbi Yehuda Caplin. If reelected as president, Trump said he would, quote, remove the Jew haters.
Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to propose the first ever Medicare benefit, specifically for home health care. She's scheduled to appear on The View today to talk about the plan. The proposal is aimed at supporting the sandwich generation, addressing the long-term care needs of senior citizens. This group typically includes middle-aged adults who are responsible for looking after both aging parents and children. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
I could really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes?
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panthertech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
And I'm Emma Alonso. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.